Welcome to our Good Friday service here at Central Baptist Church. And I want to focus on something completely opposite of what I normally do for Good Friday. Because I want to focus not on what Jesus said, but on what was not said. I want to focus on his silence because, Good Friday, a lot of times we come together, we talk about the 7 different things that Jesus said on the cross, and those are important and very appropriate for today. But I also want you to see that there's so much power in what he didn't say. Let me show you. James 3, 6 through 8 says, "The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole person, sets the whole course of his life on fire, and it is itself set on fire by hell. All kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and creatures of the sea are being tamed and have been tamed by man. But no man can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison." It says no man can tame the tongue. For me, that's an area I've grown immensely in my Christian life and maturity. When I was young, I cussed. I used the Lord's name in vain. I would lie. And, through maturity and disciplining myself, I've stopped doing those things. But, there's some things in this world that even when we have the best intentions, this tongue, this little thing right here, has the power to suck us back into some things like gossip. You don't always go looking for gossip. Sometimes it just comes and you repeat something and you don't even exactly know what's going on. Sometimes we're in a position where we get upset with someone and we call them a fool. Other times we just, things go wrong and we grumble and we complain rather than being thankful to God for what we have. And so even the most mature Christians in the entire world still get sucked in to not taming their tongue at times. It's Good Friday, so I want to take you to the cross, one of the darkest days of human history, where we literally killed the Son of God on Good Friday. This dark day was unlike any that had ever been experienced before. Let me read to you an excerpt. While Jesus was hanging on the cross, in Matthew 27, 41 to 43, it says this, they were mocking him. "Likewise, the chief priests also, mocking with the scribes and elders, said, 'He saved others. Himself he cannot save. If he is the King of Israel, let him now come down from the cross, and we will believe him. He trusted in God. Let him deliver him now, if he will have him. For he said, I am the Son of God.' He saved others, himself he cannot save." What did they mean? Well, let me assure you, they were not complimenting, saying Jesus really was able to save people. What they were doing was publicly humiliating him so that the people that were walking by would see that Jesus wasn't saving himself, and using that to say, if he can't save himself, he certainly can't save you, so don't believe in this guy. Mockery really came in the next phrase, himself he cannot save. They're telling everyone that Jesus was helpless. Here's what's so significant about this. When we are emotionally exhausted, physically exhausted, hungry, and sleep deprived, it's really, really, really hard to control our tongue in those moments. Let me give you some examples. Even Snickers has capitalized on this concept. They coined this word hangry, the crossroads between hungry and angry. And the commercials start out with this usually a crotchety person that's just grumpy. And someone says, "Man, you're not yourself. Here, have a Snickers." And they take a bite of that Snickers, and all of a sudden, hey, they're a happy, joyful person again. Well, when we're hungry, it's tough to be at our nicest personality. When my leg, I have an artificial leg, and sometimes it gets sore, and when I'm walking on that, and every step I take, and it shoots pain up through my leg, that's not my nicest days in the world. I try to control myself and be nice to those around me, but I'm just a little more irritable, When we're hurting emotionally, sometimes things that are funny to some people or funny to us normally even, all of a sudden when we're hurting emotionally, those things aren't so funny. A joke told with the best of intent at the wrong time can have a terrible effect on someone. Yet Jesus hung on the cross, and he had been through a couple of days of trial, didn't have a whole lot to eat, physically exhausted because he wasn't able to really rest in the type of prison they had placed him in. And of course, all the physical pain that he was enduring. And so, if anyone ever had an excuse to not control his tongue at that time, which we know no man can tame the tongue, yet Jesus did. Matter of fact, one of the 7 times he spoke on Good Friday, this is what he said in Luke 23:33-34. When they came to a place called the Skull, where they crucified him, along with the criminals, one to his right, the other to his left, Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. And they divided up his garments by casting lots. Forgive them? I got to tell you, if I'm in that situation, and I'm guessing just about anyone else in the world, forgive them is not the words that are coming out of my mouth under that type of duress. Jesus was fully man, yet he felt everything. From the nails piercing his hands to the thorns embedded in his brow. But Jesus was fully God, and that's one of the ways we know is because he controlled his tongue. He tamed his tongue. No man can control the tongue, but the Son of God can. Jesus knew that he served a greater purpose. And keep in mind, Jesus' voice, it's not like it's weak. His very voice helped create the universe. We read in John 1:3, through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that was made. Jesus also defeated the devil himself, Satan, in the wilderness by quoting scripture with his voice. Jesus commanded demons to flee and they fled. Jesus said, Lazarus, come forth. And Lazarus came forth. A dead man came out of the grave that day. Talk about incredible. There's so much power in Jesus' voice. The very crack of his voice would have summoned legions of angels to come and whisk him away off of the cross and take him safely to his Father in heaven. See, Jesus' silence was necessary. And his silence contributes to all the other proofs that show he truly was the Son of God. So as we come together and look at our Good Friday, keep in mind, Jesus proved he was the Son of God, partially by his silence. Now, during this time of a pandemic, when everything's kind of shut down and quiet anyway, it's a great time to practice some of this. Because we need to learn, just like Jesus, to trust in God, to be humble before God, and to be obedient at all costs. We live in a world where there's sound and noise going on constantly. And even when all that was going on around Jesus, he was silent. And there's something to be learned about being silent. I hope you all have a great Good Friday as you're able to focus on Jesus in the silence.